Welcome. If you are currently in a crisis with your business and you feel like the world is going down and fires are burning everywhere and you have no idea how you will ever make it back to profitable growth, let me give you a bit of certainty in this video, not just based on random mindset stuff, but it's actually funny because I took my phone and I found one Trello card where I documented my hardest time ever I had in 2018, 2019, and then a bit of 2020 when Corona hit. And I just want to show you that it's not the end of the world. There is always something better at the other side. And if you would have told me this in 2018, I would have laughed at it. I would have told you, well, don't tell me. You've never been through that. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know how to help me with all these problems. But, well, I guess I've been through most of the things that you are going through right now eventually, and I think you can learn a lot about what I have to share and how I really, mastered these situations. And right now, I'm almost in the best time of my life because I'm actually in the best time of my life because my business runs without me. And without these changes, I would never, ever achieved or accomplished this situation. I would never ever get the pressure and the motivation to build all the systems, hire the right people, change our offers, build a marketing and sales strategy so that all these departments run independently from me and my financial situation. Even as I had a lot of pressure and trouble with my son, we had to rebuild parts of our house that cost almost 250,000 euros. But that was in 2021. So let me walk you through all the steps and what I did in these specific situations. Eventually, just eventually, it helps you get more confidence so that you can go through this time knowing that on the other side, there is simply something better. And I won't do this freestyle because there were so many things in 2018 that I take this list and I just walk you through this. So it all started in January 2018. I climbed Kilimanjaro. Okay, it's a mountain. I think it's almost 6,000 meters high. And I think I was already in very good shape in 2018. I did a lot of sports. I still do it today. And sometimes it's good when you ignore how tough a challenge can be, right? That's what I did a lot of times in my life. I just thought, okay, if others can do it, I can do it too. And I was right very often. But what I lacked was the preparation. So I didn't prepare for this tough hike, but I made it to the summit. However, it was one of the hardest things I ever did because the lack of oxygen at 6,000 meters, it really almost killed my body. So that has nothing to do with business. But when I was at the summit, I realized I have to go the whole way down. Honestly, I didn't realize it when I was climbing this huge mountain Kilimanjaro, but I just thought there is a nice, slow road that leads us down again. But that was not the case. It was just the same way back down this large mountain. So when we returned on the basement, I thought, well, that was tough. And no matter which problems I ever might face in my life or in my business, these are small problems. Maybe I shouldn't have told this to the universe because it came so much harder. And this thing told me the lesson that it's always relative. The challenges you have, they are only relative to the challenges you had in the past because past challenges, they train you, they condition you, they give you confidence that you can always master it. And right now I believe that we only get those challenges we really can solve. So this gives me the confidence that no matter which challenge comes to me and presents itself to me, I can always manage it. And I know that I will always be stronger because every challenge conditions and trains me to tackle the next big challenge. And we all know that we can only grow by solving problems and tackling challenges. And the bigger the problems we solve for ourselves and for our clients and for our friends and our family, well, the bigger we grow and the bigger the reward on the other side. So I digress. I returned from Kilimanjaro. The first thing that I realized when I came back is that we had one project with a contract penalty of 500,000 euro, one of our biggest clients. And if we don't deliver in time, then, well, we have to pay 500,000 euro contract penalties. And that was an existential threat, a crisis for my business. And I had no idea how to fix this. So there's a TEDx talk out there, by the way, we link it below this video. And well, I had no idea how to migrate these, I think it was 8,000 web pages. We only had a few days left, right? My team tried to migrate it and created, like, over a period of 6 months, they created project plans. I have no idea what they did. I don't want to blame them. I hired them. So that was my fault. And I didn't manage them properly, obviously, because otherwise they would have created a plan properly. So, well, they then told me, Manuel, we just have 3 months left. And I said, well, but this is 8,000 pages. How do you want to migrate them in 3 months? They had no idea. I had no idea. Long story short, I tried outsourcing, offshoring, nearshoring. This all didn't work. And after all these attempts to get these pages migrated, I just had 4 days left. And in these 4 days, I was literally working 18 hours a day. My wife was pregnant. I was about to lose my business. And I had this huge fear that when my son will be born, we have no business anymore. I don't have money anymore. And I just have to work 18 to 20 hours a day just to fight all these fires, right? That was my thought. And that kept me going and it motivated me because there was either, okay, give up or push through and get on the other side. And I just decided to get on the other side because giving up, I mean, then you already have the decision. Business goes bankrupt. I don't have a business anymore. And well, I have to deal with the situation. That was not an option. So I decided to hire a virtual team of, I think it was 21 freelancers in one single day. And they got a streamlined workflow with video instructions and they migrated all 8,000 pages in the next four days of the weekend, right? They were working 24 hours. These were people all across the globe in different time zones. So we had a 24-hour production machine build and they were able to save my business. So that showed me that there is a much better way to get work done. And there are so many good people out there that I can hire almost on demand. And some of them are still with me, right? This is 7 years, right? I work with some people since 12 years plus, but they are with me since 7 years. So that showed me, wow, I saved my business. I now have a much better opportunity to scale my teams on demand when there is more work than I can handle. I didn't have this opportunity before because I didn't go beyond the boundaries of what's considered to be normal. Everyone else told me this won't work, right? Like you cannot hire strangers from everywhere in the world. They won't deliver reliable results, etc. But that was just their opinion and I respect that. But reality showed it's possible. It's absolutely possible. I still run my business today because it's very lean. It doesn't have these 250,000 euro per month fixed costs that I had in 2018 that cost all these sleepless nights, right? So now I have a very lean structure in my business where we can scale up and down our costs and also our work capacity. That allows me to sleep much better because things are in control and I can manage it, right? When a big client quits, which happened next, by the way, then what will you do if you have so many people? I had to fire 30 people in a single year because of all these issues that happened in 2018, right? In the end, I have a much better organization. I'm still very grateful today and I run it in the same way today as I've rebuilt it and restructured it in 2018. So it was good for something, but I didn't know it in these days. And even if today I have problems, I don't know why this happens and I don't know what's on the other side. But I know there is something better on the other side because I had it so many times in my life and I saw it also so many times with friends and other business owners. So let's go to the next thing. So I had a friend and he was also in a kind of tough time. He had also crisis. He was doing real estate fix and flip deals. And yeah, he needed 100,000 euros fast because otherwise he would have to declare bankruptcy as he had this one deal that basically almost broke his neck. So even if I was in this very existential crisis with my business and in 2018, we made a loss of 290,000 euro. I took a 400,000 euro bank credit, right? I never took a bank credit of this amount ever in my life. And I was full of fear that if I take this bank credit and I'm not able to pay it back, then like the bank will kill me, right? That was my thought. I know it wouldn't happen, but yeah, that was a big fear. And I still lended this amount of money to one of my friends because it helped me to survive. So that put me in much higher pressure because now my wife was pregnant. She should give birth to our son in February 2019, which was we're talking about July, August, right? So, and then it was just a few months and I had all these problems and this business was burning and I lost so much money. So, I had to decide what to do now. But what I did is I literally just pushed through this time. And I always did that. I always pushed just through the time. Of course, you need to do some smart decisions, but the most important part is just to stay confident and like take enough care of yourself so that you have enough energy to go through this time. It will fix itself like just on the other side. I believe that if you don't give up, every time an opportunity will present itself to you. And if you are just able to realize and see this opportunity, you will always be able to make smart decisions in your favor. Okay, if you are so under fire and so stressed that you lose your awareness and your consciousness to really look at things as they are instead of just looking at it and your brain tells, oh, everything is shit, I will die. And then you cannot make any smart decision. You need to stay cool, calm, and collected. That's what I had on paper and pen as an affirmation. So literally when I went to bed, I told myself that I want to have the identity of a person who is cool, calm, and collected. And when I woke up in the morning, I told myself the same. I'm a person who is cool, calm, and collected. I am able to handle complicated and stressful situations easily with confidence, right? Because I'm cool, calm, and collected. And this gave me this identity and it gave me this feeling. And if I just feel anxiety, stress, and like it's impossible from my experience to make positive decisions. So it's not that you should always be positive, even if everything is like shit around you, right? It should just be that you are positive, that you find a solution. Okay, it's not that if your bank account is negative, you're saying, oh, it's all good. Bank account negative, nice, I love it. I think that's not smart. But you can stay confident that you will be able to get back to black numbers, that you will be able to turn your business around so that it makes profits again and your bank account will be positive again. Okay, so that was the inner attitude that I always had, no matter which situation I had. But it got tougher. So after I gave my friend this 100K, well, I rented an office of 1,000 square meters and it cost me around 15,000 euros a month, right? We did this in the end of 2017. And in 2018, as I went through all these serious problems and I decided to just grow my organization with virtual teams and fire 30 people, right? We had an empty office with 1,000 square meters, 15,000 fixed costs on top of everything, and we had a 5-year contract. So can you imagine how that feels? You're losing 15K every month for nothing because at the end of 2018, mid 2019, nobody was in this office anymore. It was just an empty room. Sometimes people went there, but that's it. We had 3 to 5 people in this 1,000 square meter office and I paid 15K a month for it. Well, was that a stupid decision? I believe it wasn't because I had no other plan. I didn't have more facts to decide better, right? Would this crash have happened earlier? Would I have decided to go all in with virtual teams and digital work? Then signing a contract for such a huge office would definitely be stupid. But I didn't know this. I felt it a bit. I had this vision all the time, but I didn't have any sign that it was the right time right now to go all in with this vision because I didn't see this project crash. It just happened and it pushed me to go towards my vision, right? And sometimes it costs a lot of money, and sometimes it like shows you that all these past decisions were for nothing. This happened. Was it good? Was it bad? I don't know. It just was. And what happened on the other side was so much better than I could have imagined, because in 2019, in February, my son was born. And in June, we realized that he has a genetic defect. So we went to a lot of hospitals and we realized that he is disabled. He cannot talk. He cannot like speak or talk the same, right? But he cannot understand us. He cannot eat himself. He cannot walk, right? He has a limited awareness and connection to this world. At least that's how we perceive it. And it was actually the right preparation that I can work wherever I want, whenever I want, and I don't have limited myself to physical presence in a 1,000 square meter office with 43 people that need my time and attention all day. I rebuilt this organization already, and that was the preparation so that I can get enough time to care for my son and that we can move to a different place where we get more support from the family of my wife, right? This is everything showed me why it happened, or at least for what it happened. And that was again something where I realized, okay, there is always something better. It's always for something. So no matter in which situation you are right now, you might not be able to forecast or imagine what's the good thing on the other side after you manage to go through the situation successfully, but it will happen. Just like if you write down how you feel right now and what's your current situation, you put this paper just somewhere, get it out 2 years later and see how you are, in which situation you are right now, and you will understand that you are in a better situation than you have been 2 years ago. Right? It always happens. If you are not making totally stupid decisions, of course, but if you are a business owner, I think you have been able to grow your business to a certain degree, so you are able to make smart decisions, right? Financially, and also for your well-being, which is, by the way, very important. If you run into burnout, then like you lose control entirely. So take care for yourself, like meditate, do sports, take enough time to recover, do something else than just thinking about work. Right? When you always just think about work, that's what happened to me. Like I felt my heart was so painful. I literally thought I get a heart attack someday because I was so full of stress and everything that I did felt so heavy just because my thoughts were so heavy. And I was with all these heavy thoughts all the time. So I digress a bit. Then my son came to this world and I just started loving the remote work because I was able to be with him. Okay. And then a friend came to me and he said, Manuel, my business is in a desperate situation. So can you help me? It was also a web development agency. Can you help me get this back to profitable growth? They had 500K in revenue per year and they were making a loss of 41,000 euros in a year. They lost a big client, right? Which is what typically happens when like businesses depend on a few big clients, and they simply don't make a smart decision to build up a lead generation or sales system so that their business has new opportunities to work and onboard with other clients instead of just depending on one important client that could quit every time. And then like you have the fixed costs, but no revenue, right? That was their problem. So I've rebuilt it because I did the same with my other business. I acquired 75% of their shares and rebuilt it. 2 years later, they made 1.6 million in revenue and 457,000 euro in profit. Okay. But that came on top of all these things, right? I had my business restructured, but we still had some issues. I had this 400,000 euro bank credit. I lended 100,000 euros as a credit to my best friend. Then my son came to this world with this genetic defect and we had no idea what to do and how to care about this small baby that didn't know what to do and we didn't know what to do, and it was so strange because nobody knew what that is and what happened, and yeah, that gave us a lot of uncertainty. And then I acquired this other business, right? So there were a lot of other things, smaller things, and you see that when you go through big troubles, the small problems, they are almost so tiny that you like don't even label it as a problem. Okay, for example, when a client quits, well, I did this so many times, we find another one. When we make a loss, well, it happens so many times. We recover, I know exactly what to do, right? When I need new clients, I switch on my sales system, get new leads, and we win new clients, right? So these are all routines, but they only became a routine for me because I lived through these problems so many times, and this trained me on how to deal with these situations. And if you are right now in a situation, I don't know exactly if you're watching this video till this time, eventually you are in a situation where you need help with or where you need some confidence. I want you to stay positive about finding a solution, right? Not staying positive about things that are currently falling through the cracks and burning like fire, but positive about finding a solution in the near future. And then stay cool, calm, and collected, knowing that there are others who have lived through all these problems successfully, right? And that there was always something better at the other side, and that you can expect something better on the other side as well. You will get stronger and you will build a stronger business, much stronger than before. And you establish new routines because you've acquired new skills, you became stronger. So every problem will become a lot easier to solve. So what that means is that your business will also grow easier, because growing means solving one problem after another. And if solving problems is so much easier for you because you've been trained yourself and the problems have trained you and you solve them one after another, cool, calm, and collected, then you can grow much easier. So that's everything I have to say today. I hope it shows you, first of all, you're not alone. You are by far not alone. There are so many other businesses struggling. And those that are still confident, I would like to encourage you to get into a community of such people. Because if you just connect with complainers that tell you all the time how hard it is to grow a business and that all these problems suck and that it's always the fault of other people, you will not take ownership to fix the problems. You will not grow. You will feel like a victim. You will be full of anxiety and you won't even fix these problems. Because in an emotional state of anxiety and feeling like a victim and feeling like everything else is to blame but not you gets you out of control. You cannot solve any problem if you don't feel responsible and accountable to fix it. Okay? So find other people, other entrepreneurs, other business owners. You, by the way, also find them in our community. Typically, it's agency owners and software development business owners. They are all positive people. They are taking ownership for their future. They are building sales systems to get independent from their most important clients, right? They work on their future instead of letting the economy and everything else that's going on in the world dictate how their business develops. So if you got some value, some confidence from this video, and you know that you will absolutely make it if you are taking smart decisions and you really focus with a cool, calm, and collected mood and mindset, then you will definitely get stronger and you will solve the problems. Then I would appreciate if you give me a like and subscribe, because it will help me create more of these videos, and these videos will help you grow your business faster, more profitably, and with less work. I'm looking forward to the next video. Cheers and happy scaling.